Okay, I'm here. This is IJC Confectionery. So, like I said earlier yesterday, that we'll be baking live today from 1 p.m. So, here we are. Oh, for those that have not tuned in, please tune in. So, for this point in time, we'll be starting off with the chocolate or the oil-based chocolate cake because it's far easier to do, and it's very simple. It won't take so much time like the way the buttercream would request because it has to go through the process of creaming. So we're starting off with the chocolate, oil-based chocolate. So this is our bowl. This is a whisker. Currently, we are out of power supply, so we'll be using our manual method. And this method also is to help those that are starting off in the baking ministry, those who are just starting off that couldn't probably cannot afford to get a mixer, a hand mixer, or the industrial mixer. So this is going to be very, very easy. So first of all, we'll have to mix our egg because we need to incorporate air into it. So mixing our egg is the first thing. But mind you, today's production is just going to be 250 grams of flour. So the measurement of flour determines the measurement of every other ingredient. So it's more like the flour is the chief ingredient. So we are working with 250 grams of flour, and I already sieved it out and measured it out. For those of you that would like to know how you can measure 250 grams, very simple. Just get this measuring cup in any store, baking store of your choice. Then use it's written 250 ml. As you can see, I've already measured out some flour earlier before now. It's written 250 ml. Now, the 250 ml does not justify that the quantity, one cup is 250 grams. No, it's double the size. So you take your flour, you fill it up, then you level it, then sieve it out 2 times. So when you if you scoop the flour twice with this cup, it's going to give you your 250 gram. Now this measurement is for those that don't have access to a scale. So you can start off your baking career with the little you have. Then as time goes on, you're able to afford getting every other tools you'll be needing. So we'll be doing that. Okay. So since we want to make our oil-based chocolate cake, first of all, we want to mix our dry ingredients. Yes, I prefer to mix down the dry ingredients so that once the wet ingredient is ready, we just do the needful and cream butter our pan, then put it in the oven so it doesn't take time. Then we can move on to the next one. So first of all, now you can use any refined cocoa powder of your choice. Use any refined cocoa powder of your choice. So for me, since it's a small quantity, I'm going to be using this cocoa powder. Now for you to get something that will suit this particular measurement, first of all, you have to get your measuring cups and spoons. This is very basic. Like, if it's going to be the first two you get as a baker, please get it because it helps you to scale and measure your ingredients properly. So I'll be using the half cup, that's a sister to this, the half cup. Then I'll measure out half cup of cocoa powder. Like I said earlier, I've measured out the scale, done the flour, I've sieved out the flour, so we'll be sieving our cocoa powder. Just peradventure there are lumps or anything inside. So as you can see, this full container was able to give me half cup. So probably you don't have this cup and you want to try this recipe out. You can just get this. can just get this or any other one. It is non-sweetened, please. So we'll sieve this out now. So you do this gently because you know our plate is not as wide as possible, so we be careful that it doesn't pour out. So we do it gently till we are done sieving out this. Baking is fun. Okay, you're almost done with this. So this is the process of sieving out the cocoa powder so that you don't have lumps in your cake. So let's hurry up this process. Please, if you have questions, do what to ask me. Okay, it's really taking so much time. As you can see, there are lumps already coming out from it. So to hasten the process, you can use something. Okay, please, when you're doing this, use a bigger bowl or something. Like, I'm just trying to be careful. That's why it's taking much time. But if it's a bigger bowl, you can easily hit it as fast as possible. Do you understand? Okay, we are done with this. So we'll be trashing off the rest, the lumps, or we just keep it aside. So now we'll be taking our baking powder. If you have a baking soda also, you need it. You have a baking powder, but I just discovered that my baking soda is not available, but it doesn't really alter the production. So you can get a baking soda and also a baking powder. So since we are working with 250 grams of flour, we'll be using 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Okay, so like I said, get this. So as a baker, you need to have this. This is like, in fact, you need this. I don't know how to explain. It's very important. So I'll be using 1 tablespoon. Is stated here. I hope you can see it. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Please, it should be flattened. Don't heap it. Just 1 tablespoon flattened. Okay. You can use your hand to flatten it properly. Here. Alright. So for those of you that have the privilege of getting a baking soda, the same thing, just 1 tablespoon for the 250 grams of flour. So we are moving forward. Now at this point in time, you can use your your mini spoon or your spatula, like me, I'm going to be using my spatula to mix the dry ingredients together. So don't worry, when it's fully prepared and fully baked, we'll share it. Just I don't know, I'm going to send this to some of us. But trust me, this recipe is dope. So we'll keep this aside and work on our wet ingredients. Okay, so for our wet ingredients, we make use of two big eggs or three mini sized eggs. Now, before we break our eggs and use our whisk to beat it very well, I like to be a little bit extra because it's chocolate cake, and sometimes I like those extra block holes, those bus stops we used to have in cakes, those little things that you can put inside the spice. So I got some cocoa biscuits. So I'll be mashing them, not really mashing them smoothly. It's going to be roughly done. So once it's roughly done, we'll keep it aside so it doesn't buy time when our batter is ready. So I'll be using my candle piece to this. Ah! Sometimes there are some things you have and you just be excited. So 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 for those who have chocolate chips, you can bring out your chocolate chips. So I'm just prepping this so that once our batter is ready, we just pour it into it immediately. So let's get down to business. Hey, someone say whisk. We are whisking our eggs. So we're getting our eggs from depot. This is just the first pastry we are working on. Remember, there are 4 different things we are doing today, so stay tuned. We'll try as much as possible to be fast and snappy. So we are working with big eggs. You can see the size, they are very fast. So please, and ensure you look at your egg once you break, because there are some eggs that you see one that's inside. So ensure you get freshly laid eggs from the poultry, or you watch the eggs you bought. By the time you open it, you can tell if the eggs are fresh or not. So okay, now this is where our magic starts. Let's go. If you have an electric mixer, please use it. This is just because we are out of power supply and we got to do what we have to do. So you can see this. You know that once we start seeing bubbles in it, then it's pretty ready to add other ingredients. can see it's bringing out bubbles already. So you have to beat it very well. It's bringing out bubbles. You beat it so much. Don't have mercy on it though. Pardon me for the noise. I hope you can see it. Okay, so now we'll be making use of our sugar. Now let me tell you, the quantity of sugar you'll be using to make chocolate cake usually more, because the cocoa powder is unsweetened. That is, it is not sweet in any way. So you cannot use the normal measurements of sugar you use when making vanilla flavored cake to judge for chocolate cake. So you have to increase the size. So since we're working with 250 grams of flour, for this chocolate cake you'll be making use of 400 grams of sugar. Yes, don't worry, it's still going to be balanced. Yes, so I'll be measuring out 400 cups and I'll show you how to measure that now. Okay, I'm already lay out the sugar. So this, see, I'm scooping. So this is 1 cup, which is 250. Then you get the half cup. You see, by the time you combine this cup and this cup together, it will be approximately 400 or a little lesser than 400 grams of sugar. So that is the measurement for this. Now many will be like, how do you know? We've been doing this for a long time, so we know how to make use of the scale and we know how to use our cups. So so for better understanding, just understand that is this and this to 250 grams of flour. Remember our 250 grams of flour is double this. You get, so for the sugar, this and this. So now that we have added the sugar, we'll beat it and get ready to get our oil. So please use very good oil. Don't use oil that tastes funny. If it's possible, use refined oil. The likes of Kings and the other one. So I'm just gonna measure out my oil the other way. Okay. So I'll be using it to third cup. So, but if peradventure your own does not come with this kind of description, you can use this one, but you don't have to heap it up. Probably somewhere around here, you get, because this is 1 cup. So this is 2 third. That means it's close to 1 cup, but it's not up to. So this is what we'll be using for our 250 grams of flour. Okay, I'm back. Apologies. So you can see he's filled up. Man, this is wonderful. So at this point, please start prepping your hot water. It's not like you're going to put so much, just to help activate the cocoa in the flour. It's just to help activate the cocoa in the flour. So don't worry, after this I'll go boil up my hot water. Some persons use warm water. You can use warm water if that's what you are, that is accessible to you. But for it to be activated, that's the cocoa powder in it. Use hot water. So I have my milk here. So I'm using this size. So, but based for accurate measurement, you can use 1 full cup of milk. 1 full cup of milk. So I'm using Hollandia. Oh, my scissors. Okay. This is actually very yummy. So let me prep my hot water. It won't take so much time. I wish you can see inside. You see, it's already. Remember, I had to beat the egg very well, and that's why the fact that I've added oil and milk is still seeming like still having so many foam in it. Beat your egg properly, please. Now for the hot water, just use 1/2 cup. Yes, just use 1/2 cup. It's okay. Oh, thank you. Emmanuel, please, thank you for the comments. Okafor Chimamanda, I can see you. Hi, hello. And for others that will be coming in, I'm I'm still saying hi to you. So we're almost done with the batter for the chocolate cake. So we'll be adding it little by little. Please don't throw everything into this mixture so you don't have issues while mixing. JJ, not JJ, is little by little. Apologies, apologies, please. You know our country and their unnecessary message. see. So our hot water is getting ready. So let's try and finish up this. So this is just to loosen it up. We are in this together. Oh. We are in this together. Are you a Mechigo? So we're going to get our hot water. See? So for those that want the recipe, you can, state it that, oh, I'll be needing a recipe there. Probably when I'm uploading the result of all our work today, I'll be putting in the recipe so it will be easy for you to do so on your own. See butter now, see butter. Tell me why this thing wants to come out very moist and fluffy. So, let me test the butter. So remember that broken pieces of chocolate biscuits. So you can use Oreos or any chocolate biscuit you have. I just wanted to be extra, or chocolate chips, whichever. So, oh, this is yummy, oh. So, I'm using this pan, so there's no baking sheet, so I'll be using the regular way. Grease the pan, sprinkle little flour, then throw this butter in here, and straight up into the oven. So we're trashing this and preparing for the next one. So the next one after once this batter goes into the oven is our chin chin. Please listen to stay here. When I beat a male, a female, you should learn this. Especially Christmas is by the corner now. You don't need to always place others. Even as much as I am not saying you should not support people's business by placing others, but there are times you can just try it out. Never can tell. Then this next one, don't move an inch. I'm coming. So greasy time. Please be generous. So ensure that you lock the edges. You know, if there was a baking parchment paper or baking sheet, you can just put it in. So, but since we're using butter, please lock up the edges with the butter, then grease the bottom part, then the side based on the height of your butter. You increase it. Just grease the side of your pan to be easier. So that your butter does not stick to your pan and refuse to come out. Please grease it. Please ensure you wash your pan. This has been washed and dried up before using it. Okay. Okay. I said I'll be sprinkling little flour on it so that it will be easy for the stuff to come out. Not as much as you can bake directly, but I prefer to just sprinkle a little flour and just a little, not so much. No. So you take the little flour and just move it round, round, round. Very easy. Off to be baked in the oven. So just give me 1 minute. Let me place it into the oven. Or you want to watch me placing it in the oven? I'm here. Baking time. So the oven has been preheated. Please make sure you preheat your oven. No. So I'm back. So now we're moving on to the next one. You see this remaining batter? We'll be placing it into a foil. Let's do a little foil, please. You don't necessarily need to grease this. You can just pour it in straight. Please ensure that your work surfaces are clean. So I'll be washing this and we're moving on to the next one. There's a trouble button. Oh, where's the other side? Okay. So now we're making our chin chin. So we're going to be measuring out 500 grams of flour, just as this 4 times, and we'll be coming back here. Apologies, where my stores are stocked is a bit far from here, just a little stone through. So you see I'll be coming back and front, back and front. So let's go measure 4 of these 500 grams of flour. We're about to make our chin chin now. So we're starting our class now. So I've measured out 500 grams of flour for our chin chin. I think this is better. Okay. Oh, so sorry, please. I have to just do something very important. Okay, our 500 grams of flour. Now we're going to be measuring out 100 grams from this butter. 100 grams. So many of us will be like, "Ah, how are we going to do this? I don't have a skill here, but there's a video I made in this channel that I taught us how to measure properly little portions of butter. Now, since we're looking at 100 grams from this, and this is 250 grams, I just have to use my scissors to open these three sides, leaving one side still intact. So I'll use my tape rule to measure out 100 grams and chop it off into this. Okay, so 1 So I've already inserted a mark that showed me 100 grams. So please, in case you really don't understand how I got 100, like, you can check the channel. I measured it. So in so you can set this aside. So that was sugar. We put 3. Now for 250 grams, we use 3 of this spoon. But since we are working with 500 grams, so we'll be using 6 of this spoon. This spoon is 1 tablespoon. You can use your eating spoon, the one you use in eating is also a tablespoon, and measure 6 spoons. And put it into your, make sure you use dry ingredients, so you have to put everything together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please ensure you clean up your workspace. So get 1 egg. Now, for this recipe, I wouldn't use the whole of this egg. I'll be using half. So by the time I break it and I beat it, I'll just portion it into 2 and pour in 1. Let's just bring out 1 egg first. Then 500 grams of flour. We're using this and our egg that we need. So let me get every other ingredient available. Okay, my nutmeg. Nutmeg, salt, so this coconut, a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt. Please use your half tablespoon of nutmeg. Just one is okay. So we put our flour, butter, sugar, nutmeg, salt. Now, you see our flavoring that I personally like using a little bit of pineapple and milk. Then our Hollandia milk. Then we have our egg here. So I'll be using my hands to already are properly washed. Then I'll be mixing this whole thing together. Oh, our baking powder. We can't forget that. So since it's 500, I'll be using half tablespoon. So let's flatten it, please. Half tablespoon of baking powder. If there to be 1,000 grams of flour, you can use 1 tablespoon. So let's mix all the dry ingredients together. when you finish mixing them, it will seem like breadcrumbs. So just keep doing it. There are little lumps of butter in here, so I'll try and finish it up. So let's work with our egg and other wet ingredients. I'm beating my one egg already. So I'm going to share it into two and use half of it with my milk and liquid flavoring. Then into heat this place. Then we start kneading, rolling, cutting, and frying. That's just it. Chin chin is as simple as ABC, and this is going to be nice. So let's go to the place. Okay. Let me just put some part of it here. Here we are. Be generous. So this is the only liquid you have for this mixture. So if you're asking what quantity of Hollandia is, this is the biggest size, the one with the cap. It's actually 190 grams. So it's okay for 500. So empty. Like I said, just a very tiny bit of pineapple, just tiny, not like it's so much. So it's just the flavor will just be hiding in the background. You'll be wondering, "Ah, what's in this chin chin? What's not in this chin chin?" You get all those kind of feelings. So just a little bit. You see? Then you mix everything together and get ready to throw it into this. So you open a well, you create a well, at the center, and voila, inside. Oh, if you eat this chin, you will thank me. See, no liquid required. I just say you no like this chin chin. So, can you see? So we're going to allow this to sit for a while so that all the ingredients will marry themselves very well. You get, so at this point, it's more like you're trying to bring them together. But so at most 5 to 10 minutes, you can start rolling and chopping. Then we'll go and fry it. Then our chin chin will be ready. Meanwhile, our chocolate cake is baking already. I can perceive the aroma is nice. Like it's calling for. I want to take some chocolate drink. So it's getting ready. So we're done with the mixing of this. So the next one we're going into is our butter-based vanilla. Okay, before now I had to cream the butter and the sugar so that it to be fluffy and it doesn't buy so much time. But I'll be telling you in details the quantity of butter and sugar that was poured into it. So let's leave this to settle for a few minutes. This is the remaining part of the egg when I cut out. So we're using it in our vanilla, making our vanilla cake. So let's just clear this place so we can prepare it for rolling and kneading. Rolling and kneading doesn't take so much time. So I want this to sit. Come. In a few minutes time, we'll start rolling this now. Let's keep it here. I want to clean this place properly because we'll be using that part to roll. Don't worry, I'm here washing. I'll just tell you what I use water. So I just rinsed stuff so that when we're done rolling and frying, we'll start off with the vanilla cake. So you don't want to buy most of our time. So this is what I'm using to roll. So for many of us that probably have a broken workspace, or my workspace has some demarcations on it, so it will be quite difficult to roll and give you that um, smooth nature, smooth feeling. So I'll prefer to use my kitchen carpet. Okay, yes, this is not just the normal carpets you use in your room, but or those kind of carpets you use while growing up. No, this when I was starting off and couldn't afford to get a workspace like a table and the rest. So, someone, a friend of mine, was like, why not have something that it is strictly for baking? It is not for any other purpose. And he gave me this idea, and I said, okay. So I just got a longer percentage or a longer yard. Like I got different yards, then I cut it in different proportions. So I use this basically for things like this when I want to just roll up little dough. I use this one. Then the bigger one is for the larger size of dough or whatever I want to do that requires a larger space, or for rolling your fondant and the rest. So for this purpose, we'll be using this little one here. So hello. So we'll be cutting this in little sizes so that you can manage the space and do justice to it as fast as possible. So as small as this is okay. Okay. Since it's not much, we'll just roll it into three places and we stack up. So back into this place and I cover up. I'm like, okay, so what are you going to use to, free up the work surface? Don't worry, I have my flour close to me. But I personally don't like using so much flour because it may, end up altering the measurements of the dough. So I just use very little quantity. But if my dough is a bit um tougher than this, I don't bother adding extra flour. So oh my god, this cake is giving. Oh, so let's make this as fast as possible. So let me get my tray. This is just to prevent the dough from sticking. Okay. This is the final one. So we're cutting them. Hanusha. Ọ̀rẹ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ṣáá ni mo rí lọ. Hanusha ni. We're almost done with this. This is where the work is in chin chin. Oh. I say it's even a small batch of chin chin, 500 grams. It's not really so much. But the cutting process is taking time, so we'll be hurrying up. Even another Anushani Moriba. Even another for others. special. Ah, Moriba o Grace, ọ̀rẹ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ṣáá ni o, Mercy. So this is just preventing from getting sticking to each other. Don't mind me, I'm listening to music at the background though. I'm checking on our cake very soon. It's over 50 minutes now, so oh yeah. So it should be ready. So I can even perceive it. So this what will be frying. Still has a lot of work. See, I just checked on our cake and it's almost done. If you are not being for your mercy. Okay, moving on to the next one. If you are not being for you. So I'm rinsing this so we can use this to mix our vanilla cake. So like I said earlier, this I had to cream the butter and the sugar. So it won't take so much time when mixing. So we're transferring this. So this is basically 400 grams of butter. Now many of you are saying, what's 400 grams of butter? Don't worry, just one full sachet and half. One full sachet and half will give you approximately three. Okay, 125 plus 250, almost 275 grams. So you just scoop a little and attach to it to giving you roughly 400 grams. So that's what I did because I used one sachet and half. What happened? You are trying to measure out 400 grams of. This is butter base. Now, butter base is quite interesting. You use synonymous, like you use the same measurement of butter to flour. Now, for the flour, we're using 400 grams, so I'm using 400 grams of flour. How am I going to do that? So, one sachet, a full sachet like this, is 250 grams. So, what you just need to do is to measure this cup twice for this. So since I was using one and a half, mm, I'll measure twice of this and extra one more cup. Do you understand? Alright, officially. I'm going to be using this. Initially, I was using that big, okay, the wooden spatula, aka Toningari. So, tomorrow I'll be using the candle stick. So, I've creamed this before. Now, in this butter, there's actually sugar inside. So, since we're working with 400 grams of butter, I really don't want it to be very, very sugary. Like, I just want it to be on an average taste because some persons they like very, very sweet cake. So if you want to make your cake to be very, very sweet, unlike our chocolate cake, I had to improve on the sweetness because it has cocoa inside. But this is just it's better. Try for those who are not a fan of sweet things. Just tend to tone down the measurement of sugar. So for our sugar, you're supposed on a normal base. If you're the type that likes sugar a lot, you can use 1 cup of sugar to 1 sachet of butter. Yes, so that means if you're using 1.5 sachet, you can just probably use 1 cup and half of it. But it will be hyper sweet, trust me, it will be too sweet. So I wouldn't want that. So I decided to use just 1 cup to the 1 sachet of butter and the half, 1.5 sachet of butter, so that to have this average sweetness. So it has been creamed and it's lovely. Let's just touch it up with it. Then we have to beat our eggs. Yes. We're beating eggs again. So it was that I would use my mixer, but let's go with our manual way. There's no lights. Okay. Moving on to our eggs. Say hello to my bowl and eggs again. So for this one sachet of butter, you use 5 eggs. Just to give it this fluffy nature, but you ensure that your eggs are properly beaten. So, but if your eggs are very, very wide, like they are very fat and big, you can use 4. So since I'm making do of oh, what just happened? Oral fashion. Sorry, I had to check on the cake. But this is very wonderful. Oh God. First of all, I just discovered that this finished. I was so mad. I was like, how come this to all this thing? It's all done. So I have to move on this. What's mine? Yeah. Go 3. Yes. Okay, I'm kind of fast, yeah. When the sun come now. I don't know whether it's 1, 2, 1, 3. I can't remember. Can you carry? Just don't carry the head from here. Just leave it. We are giving you just use this. I wanted to, I brought it for me. I don't know that I'm making like a day. It doesn't concern me, shy. Use this. Really a one to one. One each. Okay. These apologies, something just occurred. So as I said, that's the life of being a baker and also a guardian of the home. Understand? So let's pick up from where we stopped. As I was talking about the eggs. So since my eggs are big, I'll be using four for one sachet, then two for the half sachet. You understand? But if your eggs are not so big, you can use eight for one and a half sachet. Do you understand? And besides, we still have half of the previous egg we used in our chin chin. You know, we didn't use the full egg because it was so much for the 500 grams. So we split it into two. I still have it, so I can add it to my cake. It's just an extra value to the cake. So let me get the eggs out. So we're breaking them one after the other. See. So at this point you can add your vanilla flavor. Any flavor of your choice. I have coconut, I have pineapple, I have exotic. So was this a vanilla based cake? So please let's go with a vanilla cake. One cup is okay. Because this is really catchy, it's industrial. So because I want this cake to have a longer life shelf, so I'm going to be adding our preservative into it. So you can use one spoon. Okay, if you notice this, we've been making use of this from the very start since 1 p.m. We've been making use of this too. Like that I said, it's very basic. It's something you should have in your disposal. So I'll be using my half tablespoon to measure up my preservative. Now this is for those of us that are making for people, or maybe you feel like you want to store this for a longer time. Just chop it in little bits that you can enjoy probably on a daily basis. Also, you can add your preservative. So you add your preservative so that it doesn't get spoiled, or you use this in your freezer and freeze it up. So I've done that. So I added it to the flour. I'm going to put in my baking powder now and baking soda. So at this, oh my god. So at this point in time, I'll be using 1 tablespoon and half tablespoon. Earlier in the chocolate cake we used 1 tablespoon, that's 250 grams. But this is more than 250 grams. If it were two sachet of butter, it's with 500 grams. That means we're using these two. But since it is one and a half sachet, roughly 400 grams, we're doing one and a half. My spoon guard. Okay. Now, there's something that some persons like adding to their vanilla. It's optional. That's not next. It's not compulsory. You can do without it. A lot of persons don't put it. Why some persons they like it. So, but if your client said, I would like nutmeg to be in my vanilla, please add it up for the person. Hmm? It doesn't really take any. It's just a little. It is not compulsory. So, what else again? Think. So, our dry ingredients is ready. Now, I've already prepped my fruits or whatever you want to call it, and dry fruits or raisins, anyone. So I soaked it up a little with a little alcohol so that it doesn't affect the shell life of this particular cake. Then there's what I have here, a cup of buttermilk. What is buttermilk? Mixture of milk and vinegar. So you just pour a generous amount of milk, and 1 cup or 2 cups is enough depending on the measurement of butter you're planning to get. So this is my buttermilk, this is my raisins, and I'll be adding them one after the other once I'm done mixing the batter. I mean the egg, sorry. So this is our egg. This is where the work starts. Woo! Yeah. So you don't forget. I've almost forgotten. Quite not easy. Hit it, hit it, hit it. I'm having bubbles already. Okay, so it has given me enough bubbles, so I'll be adding it bit by bit. Oh, and the spatula. Okay, let me make it this. I want to mix our flour properly. It bubbles, strictly bubbles. So we'll fold in this dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. All of them to be washed. Are we done? Just a little bit. So our buttered milk, please don't forget it. And our raisins, oh. This is looking good already. It's already fluffy. So what's left just to add our raisins. So, in. And voila! Our batter is ready to be baked. Our batter is ready to be baked. Very fluffy and very smooth. Our birds ready to be baked. Dun, dun. So we'll be turning this into our pan. But before let's just clear this place so we can finalize on the chocolate making, homemade chocolate making, as I earlier stated, and all the outputs. That's once the whole things are fully prepared, I'll make a video showing you the chocolate cake, the vanilla cake, the homemade based chocolate, the homemade chocolates, and finally our chin chin. So let's keep this aside, clear this place, and back to business.
See the thing I kept.
Okay, so basically I want to be using this to make the chocolate, so I'll just wash this and get ready. She went to buy gas.
Huh?
She went to buy gas.
How?
So we'll be transferring this to our pan. Miracle. So let's clean up our workspace. Gang, 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 gang. It's time to make the chocolate. Wait, I'm excited. So for the chocolates, we are supposed to be using our cocoa powder, our icing sugar, that's the smoothened sugar, the powder, but not the one we use that you can buy and measure from the market. I will show you. And we'll be using our coconut oil. Okay, for those who don't have access to coconut oil, you can use melted butter, but you just have to know the proportion of melted butter you're going to be using in your mixture. So I think I prefer this. Yes.
I'm in blessing house. I'll be there.
Where are you going there?
Eh? Send me blessing house.
Help me to raise this for you. So I like to use this mold for our chocolate. If you have an access to the chocolate mold, you can use that. So I'm using this and this. I want a flat chocolate outcome. So I'm using this too. Thank you. So I'll be using this to make our melted butter. I'll be boiling an hot water and I'll place a place inside for the butter to melt. So, please, if you have coconut oil, that's the best, but we'll be using butter. And let's see how outcome is gonna be like. Hello, thank you. So this is the sugar I'm talking about, the icing sugar. So you scoop, we'll scoop some of it and we'll use for this course. So here I am trying to boil hot water for melting the sugar. So I'm just trying to use my discretion to get the proportion of butter that once it's melted to give me uh, 4 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons. Is there cold water in the fridge? Please let me check in the freezer. This should be okay. So let's go melt. You can use a microwave also, but I'm using the boiling water method. There's not pure water in water. Please give me that one. I need that cold one. So here we have, we're scooping 4 tablespoons of this, 6 tablespoons of this. Remember, this is not sweet. This is so we want to get a really quality um, chocolate bar. Get so for if you want to tone down the chocolate bar, you can use probably 2 cups of milk and 4 of this. But I want it to be highly dark. My butter is melting very fast. So 4 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the sound of my butter boiling. That's like a boiling butter. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. This just contains 6 tablespoons. Hey God. Oh, so half of, okay, yeah, that's true. 6 tablespoons gives you half cup. Then 12 tablespoons give you a full cup. So this is just basically the 6 spoons. That's all. This is empty. So So 6 of the cocoa powder, 4 of the icing sugar or both them powder sugar, and then 4 spoons of melted butter. So, but the best is coconut oil, please. So here's my melted butter. No one this gets cold to congeal. Okay, we're having something here. So this is really dark. Ooh, I'm liking this. Okay, I don't know. I feel like testing it. Not bad. I'm feeling about to mix this very well. It's not getting dry. It has to really be smooth. So I think I want to put it back on the boiling water so that it's smoothens together before it gets sick. Can you imagine? It's already getting cold. I was just nah, you're not permitted yet. So back to the boiling water so that it gets very smooth. There was a grinder here. We use a grinder to smoothen it so it have a smooth consistency. So that being said, this is the 4 different things we've produced today live. We will have to finalize it then. Once it's smooth enough, I put it in my mold and refrigerate it for 1 hour or here to have a chocolate bar. So you can try it out. You can try this out. If you know you don't want it to be this dark, please reduce the quantity of your cocoa powder. That's take away 2 tablespoons from the 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder. So that's what we're doing. So thank you for joining us. There'll be a video I'll be uploading, and that video will contain all the end results of what we've produced live. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the comments. I really love you. Thank you for showing your support. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. See ya in my next video.